2021 is done, and for 2022, I have decided I am not going to do anything new. Hi everyone, what is up? Welcome to my channel. I'm Jolene and I create content for people who are trying to level up their lives. I create a lot of content about productivity, about planning, and if you've watched any of my videos, you might be surprised at what I am going to say to you next and what I plan to do for the year 2022. I talk so much about setting goals, so you might be surprised to hear that I don't want to have a New Year's resolution for 2022. I have recently had my own struggles with anxiety and stress, and I have felt like at the end of 2021, much like at the end of 2020, I felt tremendous pressure to make the coming year amazing because we'd all had such a difficult year in 2020. So when 2021 was coming, I felt so stressed. And I kind of feel the same way about 2022, and maybe you do as well. I recently actually put up a post on Instagram where I went into some detail about the struggles that I've had with anxiety and stress. I have experienced clinical depression in my life. I know exactly how hard it is and how overwhelmed you might feel when you have something new that's coming into your life. And a new year is a perfect example of that, where you feel like there's so much pressure on you to perform, and actually it can make your productivity just collapse. So I posted this picture on Instagram and I was surprised at how many people reached out to me and seemed to relate to this anxiety around starting a new year. So I thought that this would be a useful video. If anyone is feeling the same thing that I'm feeling, I hope that once you've watched this video, you have a bit more of a positive mindset and feel a bit more at peace about the coming of a new year. I want to share with you my non-resolution resolution, my anti-resolution resolution for 2022, because I think it might help where your mindset is concerned to make sure that you start the new year on the right foot. So here is how it works. Instead of thinking about all of the things that I'm doing wrong, the things that I'm not doing enough of, instead of thinking about all of the things that I should be doing better or all of the new goals that I want to achieve, I think that a much better strategy is to think about all of the things that I am proud of that I've done in 2021. All of the things that I have done well, or even if it's not something that I've done well, it might be something that I'm just good at. I know that it's something that I'm good at. So instead of focusing on what I want to change, for 2022, I'm going to focus on what I want to continue. And it might be that in your life, you can't easily find something that you've been doing well over the past year, but almost certainly you can think of something that you're good at. And I want to challenge you in 2022 to focus on that thing that you're good at, or that thing that you're proud of, that thing that you've done well over the past year, and continue to do that. Or do it again. If it's something that you're good at that maybe you've let fall by the wayside because of stress, because of other obligations, work, family, because of your own anxiety, I would like to challenge you to pick that thing up, that thing that makes your heart sing, that makes you feel fulfilled, that makes you feel confident because you know you're good at it. Make sure and do it regularly in 2022 if you can. So that's kind of how I'm going to approach this new year. And I have made my own list of things that I'm good at. And I am going to read to you and be very transparent about the 5 things that I've identified that I'm going to focus on, because these are things that my list says things that I am proud of. It's things that I think I've done well or that I've been trying to do and that I want to continue trying to do in 2022. So the first thing on my list is be kind to my loved ones. I am proud to be the kind of person who prioritizes that. Even if I don't always succeed, I think it's a very important thing to do to create and maintain strong bonds with the members of your family or those closest to you, your friends, whoever you consider to be a loved one. It might be your spouse, your children. At the very top of my list, I have be kind to my loved ones, and that's something that I am going to continue to strive to do in 2022. Next on my list is Face difficult situations with positivity, a problem-solving mindset, and a spirit of contentment. That is something that I think that as I get older, I'm getting better and better at, and I'm very proud of it. Now, I actually have a friend. I remember a few years ago, I have a friend who was moving out of the building that I was just moving into. And because of how it was timed, I had only just arrived. I didn't have very much in my apartment at the time. And she had tons of things to throw away, to give away. She had bags and bags of rubbish that she wasn't going to be able to personally take out because the rubbish collection day was going to be several days after she had already left. So she asked me as a favor to take her rubbish out for her. But she also had some really nice sheets and towels and stuff that were in really good condition, and she wanted to know if I wanted them or if she should just get rid of them. And I said, okay, don't worry about your rubbish. I will take that out. And the sheets and towels, let me have a look at them and I will get back to you, basically. She brought down, I kid you not, it must have been 14 or 15 bags of rubbish and left them outside of my flat. And a few days later, when she had settled into wherever she had gone, she asked me how everything had gone. And I said to her, thank you so much for the bed sheets. I really needed some fitted sheets and you had a couple of great ones that I took. And she laughed because she was so amused that I could have found something to thank her for after she had brought bags and bags of trash and left them outside of my flat. And that's actually something that I'm proud of. I like to know that I'm the kind of person who can see the good side of a bad situation, who can always find something to be grateful for regardless of what life throws at me. And that is a spirit that I want to continue on with in 2022. I want to face whatever comes at me in the year to come with a spirit of contentment and a problem-solving attitude. The third thing on my list is write a novel. Now, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you may already know this. I've kind of been hush-hush about it because this is such a long process and I think nobody quite understands how much time it takes. But I have actually written an entire novel. I've actually written 2 novels. I have about 3,000 words to go to finish the second novel. So in the past couple of years, I have finished 2 novels and 2 pretty long ones as well, like 118,000 words for the first one and almost 100,000 words for the second one. And I couldn't be prouder of myself. I am so happy that I have managed to do that, but it's not over. I still have to finish the edits on the first novel. I have to finish those 3,000 words on the second novel and then send it to an editor and do my rewrites and all of that and maybe query to see if I can get an agent. The process is so long, and this is why I don't talk about it a lot, because when you tell somebody you are writing a novel, it's kind of like you tell them on Monday and then the following Monday they're like,
so is it done yet? When am I going to read it?
You know that they want to support you, but it can be something that leads to quite a lot of anxiety, because it feels like you're being rushed in a process that actually is quite complex and takes a long time. However, that being said, I am choosing not to feel the anxiety around this. Instead, I want to focus on being proud of the fact that I have written almost 2 entire novels. So in 2022, I want to finish those final 3,000 words. I want to finish the edits on the first one. I want to continue with this forward momentum that I have built up, because I couldn't be more chuffed that I'm an actual writer and I have finished. They're not published yet, but I have finished writing a novel and almost finished a second one. One thing that I've attempted to do for the past several years of my life, but particularly since the start of the pandemic, is take better care of my health. When the pandemic was first declared, I have to admit that I neglected my health for some time because I couldn't have anticipated that things were going to sort of drag on this long. So I had procedures that I needed done. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I had surgery in 2021 at the very start of the year. And I put those things off in 2020. And in 2021, I made a promise to myself that I would not put my health off any longer. Regardless of what was going on in the world, I would take care of myself. I would regularly take supplements. I would try to be as physically active as possible, even if we had to be in lockdown. I wouldn't make excuses. I would get things done. And I feel proud of the fact that I kept my word to myself in 2021. And that's something that I want to continue doing in 2022. And the fifth and final item on my list is that I have been pretty diligent when it comes to meeting my savings and investments goals. I'm very proud of that. It has become very automatic for me. I am really moving so fast. I can barely believe it. I'm very proud of myself. And so I want to continue that in 2022. So that's it. That's what I want to do in 2022. And as you heard, it's nothing new. These are things that I have done, that I have been doing, that I am good at, that I know I'm capable of. And so it allows me to face the coming year with a spirit of just peace and contentment. I know that whatever comes, it may not be easy, but nothing about the past few years has been easy. But I am still here and I'm proud of me. And I hope that this has inspired you to also sit down and think about what you have done well, what you have started, what you are good at, what you are proud of, and use that as your driving force for this new year. So hopefully you see this video in time, but even if you don't see this video at the start of 2022, at any point, I think it can be helpful, and maybe you know someone else who is struggling with their mental health that might also find this interesting. So I would encourage you to share this video. Actually, let me know in the comments below, what are the 5 things that you are most proud of that you have done? It doesn't have to be in 2021. It could have been ever in your life. What are the things that you are proud of? What do you want to focus on to make sure that you start 2022 positive, happy, with a spirit of contentment, with a can-do attitude? What are these things that you're like, look, I'm good at this? What are they? I want to know. Leave them in the comments below. In any event, I would like to thank you for having watched this video. I try really hard to fill my channel with interesting, motivational, useful, inspiring content. So if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It absolutely helps my channel so much, and it helps me to know that this content is useful and interesting to you. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will try to be as consistent as I can. It's not one of the things that I'm good at, but I will try to be as consistent as I can in coming to you and bringing you content. I'm always on Instagram though, so if you want to add me at Sunshine Jolene, it's a great way to sort of keep track of what I'm doing on a more regular basis. And I hope that you do pop over and say hi so I can add you back and we can be friends if we aren't already. In any event, I'm going to wrap this up here because it's actually 9 p.m. on the 31st of December, and I have some champagne to pour before we get ready to start the new year. So happy new year to you. I wish you all of the best. I wish you your wildest dreams come true for 2022. Bye.